Artificial intelligence tech is the most significant game changer in this day and age. Countries have started scrambling to gain an advantage in creating and successfully implementing it into daily use, as it would push the technical field forward by leaps. The search for this advantage has turned into competition among major powers like China and America. Welcome to AI and Robots. In today's video, we'll look into how the rise of China's AI robotics is a big concern for the USA. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. The US and China have differences in many aspects. The relationship between the People's Republic of China and the United States has been very complex over the years. According to a 2020 survey by the Pew Research Center, 22% of Americans have a favorable view of China, with 73% expressing an unfavorable opinion, one of the most negative perceptions of China. The poll also found that 24% of Americans see China as a significant threat to America. The relationship deteriorated sharply under U.S. President Donald Trump and CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping, with China's militarization of the South China Sea and Chinese espionage in the United States rising. The tension between the United States and China remains under the Biden administration, which has made China one of its focal points in implementing U.S. foreign policy. However, they've not only drawn swords on political and economic matters alone. It's known that artificial intelligence can outperform humans when it comes to creating more tech, since they're naturally skilled at pulling together massive data for analysis and are capable of doing research without the limitation of the human body like sleep, and that's why both China and the US have gotten into a competition over it. The United States has good reason to be concerned about China's stern stance, since the tussle for dominance in the AI space could eventually shape the economic fortunes of the two world powers. Overshadowed by the dazzling AI advances made by the United States so far, China has been silently but resolutely building an ecosystem that is feeding and fueling its ambition to become a world leader in AI. According to Kai-Fu Lee, ex-director of Google China, China's lust for AI started in 2016 when a reinforcement learning program created by DeepMind won the game of Go to the human world champion Lee Sedol. For Chinese people, a computer winning a person at this ancient game was shocking. It was at this moment when China realized the importance of AI and how their future as a country depended on leading it. In 2017, China's government made a strategic plan to lead the world of AI by 2030, which they referred to as the New Generation AI Development Plan for 2030. In this strategic document, China's government states that being a leader in AI technology is critical for their military and economic position in the world. Their goal, according to the document, is to become an AI power by embedding AI in all aspects of life, industry, and commerce. And they have started doing so. China's approach to AI development and implementation is fast-paced and pragmatic, oriented towards finding applications that can help solve real-world problems. Rapid progress is being made in healthcare, for example, as China grapples with providing easy access to affordable and high-quality services for its aging population. Applications include AI doctor chatbots like the Ping and Good Doctor's 1-Minute Clinic, which help to connect communities in remote areas with experienced consultants via telemedicine, and the use of machine learning to speed up pharmaceutical research, and the use of profound knowledge for medical image processing, which can help with the early detection of cancer and other diseases. That's not all. There are AI canteens, the EEG, which is used to monitor the levels of concentration in student and AI robots that assist in the education of the children, enlightening them towards the way tech works and giving the government all of the data needed to make advancement in the AI. How did they make this improvement? It is important to note that for over 20 years, there was a huge gap between China and the US. But how did they jump over this big difference? While the US maintains sustained growth in research efforts through public institutions and private sectors, China was still conducting low-value added activities in global manufacturing. But in the intervening years, China has surged to catch up rapidly. From a research perspective, China has become a world leader in AI publications and patents. China's global share of research papers in the field of AI has vaulted from 4.26% in 1997 to 27.68% in 2017, surpassing any other country in the world, including the US, a position that it continues to hold. And as of March 2019, the number of Chinese AI firms has reached 1,189, second only to the US, with more than 2,000 active AI firms. These firms focus more on speech, speech recognition and speech synthesis, and vision, image recognition and video recognition than their overseas counterparts. And there are two critical assets in the AI era in order to make progress, and that's data and computer science and engineering talent. China happens to be relatively abundant with both. Its large population gives it advantages in generating and utilizing big data. Its decades-long effort in promoting technology and engineering gives it a rich supply of high-quality computer scientists and engineers. And since the Chinese government is committed and ready to pump out more expenditure into the whole setup by providing the infrastructures and the supporting conditions for companies to flourish, it has motivated research into tech by local talents, SOEs, and other state-backed enterprises. As AI becomes more critical for foreign national security defense systems, Chinese systems are becoming part of foreign countries' security apparatus. Foreign nations must exercise caution in adopting such AI systems. When third-party governments use Chinese-based AI, it prevents China with opportunities for political influence, economic espionage, and much more. Another factor would be the COVID pandemic, which put a halt to physical labor for a while. The only solution to the deficit was the utilization of robotics to make up for it. During this period, more innovative ideas were made, which has propelled them towards their plan to dominate the AI market by 2030. And now it's time to ask why the US should be concerned about China's advancement towards AI supremacy. AI is referred to as general-purpose technology because of its wide range of applications in practically every industry. It has been considered to be on par with electricity, and the US has been dominating the scene well until recently. China, though, might just give them a run for their money. The Pentagon's first chief software officer, Nicholas Challen, claims we have no competing fighting chance against China. It's already decided. Whether it requires a war or not is kind of anecdotal right now. He also claimed that several government departments in the US had kindergarten-level cyber defenses. Moreover, Challen also criticized the reluctance of US firms such as Google to collaborate with the government on AI and extensive ethical disputes over technology for the US's delayed innovation. While China was destined to rule the world's future, everything from media narratives to geopolitics is under their control. China also has the advantage of its population being 4 times the size of the United States. China will inevitably have the largest domestic market for AI applications. Perhaps with the current trajectory, China will maintain a narrow lead over the near future, and the US will try to catch up. And there's the issue of weapons. An analysis by the Center for Security and Emerging Technology at Georgetown University in Washington found that 22 of the 273 companies known to supply the People's Liberation Army with AI equipment were not subject to U.S. Commerce Department restrictions, meaning they may be able to access U.S. technology and pass it on to the PLA. The Chinese military aims to become the most technologically advanced globally by removing barriers between the civilian and military sectors. This race of AI supremacy goes far beyond the economy. It could also lead to a boost in the advance of military equipment and weapons. That's all we have for you today. If you have thoughts on the video, you can leave it in the comments section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe.